this video, I'm going to show you how to use Photoshop and Illustrator to create a simple logo that includes letters and the silhouette of an animal. To start off with, let's talk about what makes a good silhouette. Here are three images of the same bird. The first one would make a nice silhouette because it clearly communicates the shape of the bird, but it is a little bit boring and generic. The second bird, the one in the middle, would be a difficult choice because of the way the bird is facing. You can't really see the shape of the body or the shape of the bird. If you turn this into a silhouette, it'd look kind of like a weird looking blob. The third choice also clearly communicates the shape of the bird, but because of the way that the wings and the tail and the feet are positioned, this bird has a little bit of spunk and attitude. So, in my opinion, the third bird would be the best choice. So I found that bird on the internet, and what I'm going to do is click until I get the biggest version of this bird. Just follow the links, and then I'm going to right click and save image as and navigate to a folder. You would want to save it to your W drive, but I'm saving it to a different drive because I'm a teacher. So I'll go ahead and call it bird image and click save. Now in Photoshop, I'm going to go ahead and open that. So File, Open. You would navigate to your W drive, which is down here on the side. So here's my W drive. It has my name on it, J. Smith. But because I'm a teacher, mine is saved in a different spot. So where is the one I just saved? Oh, right here, bird image. So open in Photoshop. Now, in order to make a really good silhouette, I have to get rid of all of this stuff around the outside of the bird. So in Photoshop, I'm going to choose this fifth tool down, which is the crop tool, and click on it. Then I'm going to take these handles and I'm going to get as close to the bird as I can without actually touching the bird, just to get rid of all this excess stuff on the background that I don't need. And that looks pretty good right there. And when you're done, you can either hit enter on the keyboard or you can click this check mark. Alright, now the next thing that I need to do that's really important is look over here on the layers panel. And you can see that the background layer has a padlock on it. I need to get rid of that padlock by just clicking the layer, and it will convert it from a background into a new layer. So I will click OK. So the padlock is gone, and this is called layer 0. By the way, if any of the panels are missing from the side over here, you can always get them by going to Window and choosing from this list, which is alphabetized. So if you needed layers, layers is right here. Now I'm going to use two different tools to cut this bird out. I'm lucky that he's on a nice, uncomplicated, simple background. That will make cutting him out a lot easier. So the first tool that I'm going to use is called the Magic Wand tool. It's the fourth one down. If you click and hold on the click selection tool and then choose the second one, what the Magic Wand tool does is anything that I click, any color that I click, it will select colors that are similar to it. So then I can just push the delete key and I will delete those colors. But you'll see that I also got part of the bird's head and part of the bird's back. So I don't want to do that. So I'm going to push Control D, which stands for deselect, and I'm going to make the tolerance, I'm going to do 15 instead of 32, which will make it less sensitive. So now when I click on this, that's better. So now I'm just going to go around clicking in different areas to try to get most of the green cut out from around the bird. And if I ever get part of the feathers or the body, I'll have to deselect by pushing Control D and start over again. But this is working pretty fast. So I got part of the leg, so Control D to deselect, and I'll start on this side. Working pretty well, so I'm making a lot of quick progress here. And I know that because the feet are practically the same color as the branch that they're on, I know I'm going to have a lot of problems when I go into that area. So I will get as close as I can, do as much as I can. Okay, now I'm going to switch to the eraser tool, which is this one right here. And I'm going to go clean up these little spots where I can see them. Sometimes it's hard to see. To make the eraser smaller, next to the P key on the keyboard are the bracket keys. So the left bracket makes it smaller and the right bracket makes it larger. Okay, and so I'm going to get a giant brush, so bracket, 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 and I'm going to get as close as I can to the feet without actually touching them and just kind of get rid of all this stuff. And then I'm going to use the next tool. Oops, I missed a little spot right here. Delete. Okay, is the polygonal lasso tool. So the third tool down, if you click and hold on it and then get the second tool, the polygonal lasso tool. Let's get the magnifying glass and make the feet larger, then get the polygonal lasso tool. Now what I'm going to do is where the tip of this tool is, where the black arrow, I'm going to click and drag, and I'm just going to click, click, click to outline, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag, and when I touch the beginning point and the end point, it makes an entire selection, and then I can just hit delete. So I'll start over here, click, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. It drags a straight line, so if you're working in a straight area, it works really well, but if you're going around a curved area, it doesn't work as good and you have to click closer together. There we go. Beginning point and end point are touching. So let's start right here. Click and drag. If you're going, you can click closer together to make a finer selection. Let's see here. And if, so I don't like how I made that angle, so I'm just going to hit backspace on the keyboard and grab this area. Be really careful that you don't click too fast, because if you double click, it will mess up. So only single clicks. Delete. I'm almost finished. Grab this area. I don't like these jagged pieces right here on the leg, so I'm just going to really quickly get rid of those. And now I am on the last foot over here. And it helps if you do small sections. I could outline the entire foot, but if I accidentally double click and I spent 20 minutes outlining the foot, then that can set me back. So I find that it's easier just to do a small section at a time. And you can go off the canvas out into the background area, it doesn't matter. Touch the beginning point and the end point, hit delete. A few more clicks and I will be done. Click, 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 and good. There we go. Delete, Control D to deselect, Control 0 to make that fit on the screen. And looks pretty good. Let's see if I missed anything. Alright, I think I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I will call this bird image cutout. Cut out. And save. Maximize compatibility. OK. So now I'm done with this. I'm going to go ahead and close it and close Photoshop and open Illustrator. So in Illustrator, I'm going to go to File, Open, and I'll get Bird Image Cutout and click Open. And I'm going to convert layers to objects and click OK. So there's my bird, and I'm going to click the black arrow and then select the bird. Then I'm going to click this image trace. What image trace does is takes all the pixels and turns it to black and white. So this is how I'm going to make my silhouette. But you can see that it doesn't look too good right now because I have all this white area and the leg disappeared. So I'm going to open the little options panel right here by clicking on it, and it popped open right here. And I'm going to take the threshold slider, make sure that preview is clicked, otherwise you won't see your changes. And I'm going to move this a little bit at a time and then wait for the computer to catch up. And I will move it until the majority of the white is gone. Oh, well, there you go. All of the white's gone, and it looks really nice on 235. Let's see. If you do get little pieces of white left over, those are easy to get rid of, so that's not such a big deal. But let's go ahead and use 235, and I'll hit enter. Oops. Okay. There we go. 235. Now, what I need to do is go to Object, Expand, and I'm going to make it an object with a fill, and click OK. Now this actually has a white background on it that I have to get rid of, so I'm going to open up the Layers panel, which is these two overlapping diamonds, and click this little arrow right here to open it, and click this to open it. And here is the white background that I want to get rid of. So I'm just going to click that, click this little button here, the circle, and then click the trash can. Great. So now all I have is the black bird, and there's no white background on it. Alright, so I am going to go to File, New, and I'm going to create a letter size document for print. So print and letter, and I will call this blue bird logo, and click create. Okay, so now I'll take my cutout tab, and I'll take this tab and I'll separate it. Then with the black arrow, I'll click on the bird and drag it over to my new document. Okay, now just to be safe, I will save this in case I mess up and I have to start over again. So File, Save, and it's called Bird Image Cutout. Sounds good to me. .ai, which stands for Adobe Illustrator, and I will click Save. And Illustrator options are all fine. You can just leave it on the defaults, so I'll click OK there, and then I can close this guy. Alright, so here we go. I am going to put the BB under it, so Bluebird Industries. So I'm going to grab the text tool, and I'll click, and it puts in this placeholder text for me, Lorem Ipsum, but I'll just change that to BB. And that is really tiny, so I am going to make the size 72 to begin with, and I don't like that font. I want to choose a spunky font to go with my spunky bird. So the one that I used in the example was called Showcard Gothic, And I think it's a font that comes on every computer, but I'm not positive. So show card Gothic. And now what I'm going to do is convert this type into outlines. So I'm going to select the black arrow, make sure that the BB is still selected, and go to Type, Create Outlines. So now, instead of being a text, this is actually an image. So if I wanted to go back and change what it says, I'd have to delete these and start over again with the text tool. Now I'm going to go to Object, Expand, and also Object, Ungroup. So now I can select these two letters independently if I want to. Right now I'm going to hold down Shift on the keyboard and click on the corner and drag it to make it bigger. And I will open up the swatches panel. Remember, if any of these panels aren't showing, you can get it right here under Window. So if you need swatches and it's not open over here, you can go to Window, Swatches, and it will show up for you. So I'm going to make this light blue, and I'm going to use the white arrow to click off to the side and click only this B and separate it. Now you'll notice that the B is on top of the foot, so I'm going to open up my layers panel and keep clicking this little arrow until I find the letters. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to drag it down and take the other B and drag it down. So now the bird foot is on top of the B. Alright, so it looks pretty good. It looks like the foot is actually resting on the curve of the B, so that looks nice. Now I'm going to take this B, and this B needs to be smaller, so black arrow, hold down Shift to make it proportionate, and I will drag it around. And I'll use the arrow keys on the keyboard until I think it looks good. So I want a little bit of the blue showing on that toe. Okay, come on now. It's not selecting for me, so I'm going to select it over here. Use the arrow keys. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. There we go. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is use the black arrow to select just the two light blue B's. And it's selecting the bird too, so let's see, how can I not do that? I'm going to click Shift. Alright, so I think I'm having a hard time not selecting the bird. So what I'm going to do is click on just these little circles here and click on this circle so that only hold down Shift so that you can get both of them at the same time, but not the black bird. Alright, so now that those are selected, I'm going to get the Pathfinder panel under Window, Pathfinder, and I'm going to use the divide, which is this button right here. So what that did was it made these all different shapes. So now I'm going to click with the white arrow, click this little individual shape, and I'm going to turn it a different color. I'll make it this dark blue color. So now I have two colors of blue. How about that color? Yeah, that looks really nice. And let's click the bird and make the bird a different color of blue. Looks pretty good. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is put on the Bluebird Industries. So let's get the text tool, and I'll just click down here and write Bluebird for the first line. And I don't want it to be the same font, so I want it to be a nice simple font. Calibri is one that I like, and I will make it bold. Get the move tool, put this up here, and this time a little bit too big. Let's try 60. Okay, that's better. And I will change it to the darker blue, Bluebird. And now I'm going to get another text layer and put Industries. And here is a quick tip. So I'll select it with the black arrow, and if I get the eyedropper tool, I can click on this and it will take those characteristics and apply it to my new text. Black arrow, I'm going to line this up, and I want Bluebird and Industries to be the same size, so I'm going to click this and drag it. I think I want them to be a little bit closer together. I'm going to smush it just a little bit. And then move them both up. And there we go, the finished logo. So you can see that the first logo, I had two colors of blue here because there was a little gap right here where this white is, so that when I did the Pathfinder, it made it two different shapes. So the second time that I did it, there wasn't a gap right there, so I only got one opportunity to use another color of blue. So whichever way it works out for you when you do your project, that's okay with me. I think they both look good. I might mess around a little bit with the different shades of Control Z is undo, by the way. So let me select just the bird and change the color of that. So I think it looks pretty nice using 3 shades of blue. But anyway, I will let you make your own variations on the theme. So I will save this and then use the snipping tool to put a version of it into my Google slideshow. That's it for this video.